So in 1981, you know, Flash, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five are signed to Sugar Hill Records, you know, and Flash is like, he ain't done shit. Like, he hasn't made a record with the group, he hasn't done anything. He's their tour DJ. And, you know, being the biggest personality in the South Bronx at the time, you know, this made him a little bit unhappy, so to speak. So he pressured Sylvia Robinson, and she let him cut a record called Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel. Now, this to me, you know, is basically, and I will say this, you know, bluntly, this is the first hip-hop record, not rap record. It's the first hip-hop record because it was the first record with a DJ cutting. Now, it ain't a hip-hop record or album or song unless there's some form of a DJ element on it. That's something I always really stick to. And so this is the first time you actually hear a DJ doing anything on a record, and that's why I call it the first hip-hop record, okay? Now, you know, you gotta understand, why were they calling all these, you know, these records Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, where Flash wasn't on any of the records? It's because of this. He's the most known brand name in the scene. People knew who Flash was, so they exploited him as a brand commodity. And it's very interesting, when he left Sugar Hill Gang Records, he had to fight them in court to get his name back because they had filed a trademark on that. The other interesting thing is when he left the group, Melly Mel, the lead MC, like the dude of the time, you know, one of the dopest MCs of all time, specifically from that era, he changed his name to Grandmaster Melly Mel. And that was to keep the Grandmaster in the group's title, to get people to still buy the records, thinking there was some bit of Flash involved in that. But yeah, this is the first authentic hip-hop record. You know, you hear it, you know, you want to come up here, dude? Come on up, come on. You know, he did this live in several takes. He did a few takes of this. He used 3 turntables, you know, but it's basically him rocking, you know, the quick mix theory, you know, on a record, you know, and he cuts up, you know, he does his thing. It's very musical for the time, you know, where he's cutting on beat and he's cutting things up, like essentially musically. But it's interesting, he, you know, it's Adventure of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel, but he gets no authorial credit for it. If you look at the credit lines, it says special thanks to Chic, Good Times, Blondie's Rapture, Queen, Another One Bites the Dust, Sugar Hill Gang, Eighth Wonder, Birthday Party by the Furious Five, and Spoonie G's Monster Jam. You know, and it's kind of this interesting thing where, like, in the music industry, the DJ is not an author. So, like, when I've done cuts for people's albums, I don't get any publishing or songwriting credit. You know, and I did scratches on, you know, particular song. I won't mention that. You know, it's gone. It's sold. It's platinum. It's a platinum MP3. I mean, it's sold over 1 million MP3s. I get no publishing, I didn't get any credit on it. So it's really kind of set that stage for like the DJ as a non-author by law. But it's a very important record. Now, I'm gonna do a video here in a few seconds where you can kind of see all of these techniques. So the main ones that he pioneered that were all part of the umbrella of his quick mix. Number 1 was the rub, or the zugga zugga, or cutting. And this is basically, you know, taking 2 copies of a record and cutting them, you know, on time, on beat, dropping them on time, on beat, and creating a loop. Backspinning, which is basically, and I'll show this, is while one record's playing or one break is playing, you have the fader, you know, over there, so that's what people are hearing, and then you're backspinning the other record to the top of the break, and then slip cueing it and dropping it on beat once the break is about to end on the other side, and then you spin that, and it takes a slip mat underneath to do that. Clock theory was his way of marking records with crayons or stickers, and I show that in my tutorial, so you know visually that, you know, where to backspin a record to bring it to a certain part, whether it's a kick or a snare or anything, is very commonly used. And then punch phrasing is him taking any horn sound, any guitar sound, any riff, and scratching it on beat, you know, over another track. So take a minute and check out my tutorial on Flash's quick mix. We'll give you a little insight on how to do what he was doing, or how he did what he was doing. Spanky Davis.